Hello everyone and welcome back. Before we start, I really want to thank you for your incredible support. Without you, this would not be possible. Please don't forget to click the notification bell and subscribe to the channel to see more of this content and always be updated when something is coming up. In today's video, we are going to talk about Dodo riding dinos, Dodo Dash. This is a expansion slash standalone game of Dodos riding dinos. If you never heard of it, this game is a racing game that gives you a Mario Kart vibe. As a matter of fact, players will go around the board throwing things at each other, trying to slow down and have incredible boosts, really like Mario Kart. If you never heard of it, you don't know how to play, let's go to the table and I'll show you how to do it. Here we have a game of Dodo Dash for 3 players. You see here this fantastic miniature. Look at so cool they are. Really cool. So to set up the game, in setting it up to the small track, you see here there's a small track going on, there's a larger track outside. What you need to do is place these trap tiles, and then we're going to see on the back of the boards there's something else. We deal our characters, okay, with every characters have the special ability, and then we deal 6 cards. The game ends when the first player completes a lap and finish the game, basically. So racing game, the first one crossing the finish line wins the game. On their turn, players will select one card simultaneously, and then simultaneously they will reveal it. So now you see there are 2 types of cards that have been played. The red ones calls the aggressive cards, and the blue one calls the normal cards. At this time, players will resolve only the number here at the bottom left. The number of the bottom left indicates how many spaces they move. So now, starting from the first player, we resolve it. The first player play this, so 1, 2, 3. Then we have 1, 2, 3, and then we have 1, 2. Then we resolve the power beside the card. So now, when you have 2, this is for up to 4 players. When you have 2 or more aggressive cards, the power there is actually no resolved. So we are not going to resolve that. So the only power that we are going to resolve, for example, is the second player take 1 damage and draw 2 cards. What that damage means? Damage means that the player will take the hands of cards, that's basically your energy, and will discard 1 card. So you will discard 1 card and you draw 2 more. That's simple. During this phase, or better before this phase, something that the players can do is play a green card, a dash card. So this card can be played before the action phase and says cancel the effect of a normal or reaction card before it is resolved. So for example, this player could play this to cancel that action. So this is one example. There are other cards that you can play in this edition. For example, this dash card that gives you extra power as a yellow. This card is not found in the original game and it has more effects. Again, you will resolve first the movement here on the bottom left, and then you will resolve the action. And the game keep going until you have a player that crosses the finish line first. Very interesting cards. There are very interesting action that you can do. For example, this aggressive card says flick 1 egg of 3 damage on a hit, draw 3 cards. If that card would have been allowed to be played because you have only 1 aggressive card, a player will flick an egg. And so what you would do, you will remove your miniature, you will place your egg, and you just simply flick. You will inflict 3 damage, so the player will have to discard 3 cards to take the damage. If a player doesn't have enough cards to discard, then we'll move 1, 2, 3 spaces backwards and we'll draw back 6 cards. What other object you can throw? That's the fun part of the game. You have a meteorite, and all these tokens or all these objects have a specific way to throw them. So the meteorite, for example, you need to just let it go and see from the top who eats. Then you have the egg, and I show you. Then you have the banana. The banana, you put your elbow, you will try to flick and hit the banana in this way. You have your feathers, so you will try to take the feather and let it land here. Very good. Then you have the log. The log, for example, if you have this two, like this way, you will put your log here and try to hit it and roll it on top. And then there is an additional token in this edition, which is the Dodo. You don't have in the previous one. The Dodo, you will put it like this and you try to let it land. It's very difficult because it's very soft, it's foam. So very interesting, different texture. Something new that this edition brings to the table are the traps. So if this player lands on the trap, you reveal the trap and see what it does. So this trap is very simple. Move forward 2, and that's what you're gonna do. You have other traps. For example, this one, when you play a normal card in this zone, speed up, the value gets multiplied by 2. This one, discard 1 card and you go forward 3, you go backwards 2, so you have lots of things. This is the tempo, the other side of the board offered the tempo. This is a little bit more advanced board because offer more things. So you see here we have in the inside board, we have new symbol. You have this, which represent drifting, and here you have the charms tiles. Drifting works when you arrive on this hexagon, you need to roll this die. If you roll the value here high, equal or higher, then you will be allowed to move on this axis. So for example, I roll 5, so my pawn will move forward. Not only I move forward, but also get the bonus, which is a card. Then I can roll again. Roll a 6, so I get here. And in addition to that, I can move 2 more spaces. See, this is the symbol here. So it's very cool. You have a nice combo possibility to move very fast very soon. Then the other new addition of this map are the Dodo Idol charms. Here you have this token, the tiles. When you pass it, then you reveal it and you see what happens. You can roll a die. With 1 or 2 you draw a card. With 3 or 4 you move 2 spaces. On 5 or 6 you can resolve a charm card and place a new tile. So very, very cool. This definitely increased the difficulty in terms of more rules to explain. There's also another variant on this game. You have a treasure hunt variant. The treasure hunt has these tiles here. You have also this egg here variant that can be mixed up with the previous game. I'm not going to explain it. I will let you to explore. This is really the general idea of this new expansion. So now you have an idea how Dodo Dash works. I'm going to compare a little bit with the previous game and see what I think about it. What brings this game is very minor changes. In the original Dodo Riding Dinos, we don't have any traps, we don't have drifting, we have all the characters and then play cards, we have the skimming phase and the running phase, exactly how I show you in the video. The traps and the drifting, all these things that you see on the board are an addition, and I would say it's a very small addition. It's very easy to teach even new players how they works. You know, you just flip the tile and it says go backwards 2 spaces, go forward 2 spaces. Maybe the drifting is a little bit more complicated because you have the kind of combo that you need to generate, but really, if you think it's too complicated, you don't have to play with it. You have 4 boards, so you just pick the one that doesn't have the drifting and you're gonna be okay. I love this game. It's so much fun. One thing that I like is the racing part. I really like racing games. I like games that they give you a goal, and the first one that achieves that goal wins. And that's really suit well for racing game. But in order to be a racing game, have to be fast. Racing is about speed. If I don't have that feeling, to me, it's not a really compelling racing game. And this one has. The simultaneous action selection, resolving the action is very fast. You move that amount of space, then you throw some object here and there. If that happens, bam, we go again. Really, even moving sometimes the racer, they can be moved at the same time. Sometimes we don't, but in a big crowded group, if you do it, it can work as well. As just the second part of the game, or the second phase, when you need to activate the power of the cars, is important, the sequence of the players. One small complaint I will have is here says 1 to 6. I think this was a typo. It's supposed to be 1 to 8. They have a BGG FAQ, or they also answer on the Kickstarter page saying, well, why this cannot be played by 8 players. The original Dodo Riding Dinos can be played by 8 players, and you have 1 to 8 on the board. Here you have 1 to 6, although there are 8 miniatures inside, so you can perfectly play with 8 players. So I do believe it's just a typo. Also, another small complaint that unfortunately on this print there's still errata on their notebook. They fix it, giving you a very lame 4x4 white piece of paper that said that this is the second Kickstarter they ran. I was hoping that errata would not show up at the second print, but that happened. They didn't obviously want to reprint all the rule book and delay the fulfillment, etc., etc. So I totally understand that. It's a very minor errata about what happens when you have rage cards and how many you need per number of players in a game. Minor, but I care about these details. Overall, it's a great game. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna mix it with the previous one. If you own the previous, if you own the Dodo Riding Dinos, should you get this one? My answer is, if you have played the heck out of it. If you're playing a lot, if you want to see new dinosaurs, if you want to have something more to it, I must say that really the addition of the traps, in my opinion, increase the fun. Sometimes the games gets a little bit stagnant in terms of who is winning. There are very powerful cards that jump or allow a player to jump by 10 space in one shot, and then just you need to wait that person to slow down. And sometimes people cannot aim very well and to slow you down, but at least the trap can fix that. And I love that. They give more replay value. They give you always that uncertainty, and it's really, really fun. And the drifting, it reminds me of Crash CTR, so the racing game. So good. I really love this guy. Really, really highly recommend. I love the theme. It's so fun. The art is amazing. The quality is incredible. You have these plastic minis. You also have the wooden tokens if you don't like that. The rule book is very well explained beside the errata. So I really, really recommend this game. It's perfect for any player, young kids, small adults. Really, really a lot of fun. 20 minutes cents in the box. Yes, plus explanation maybe gets to half an hour, and then you definitely want to play it again. We never stop to one time. We definitely play 2-3 times. It's so fun, so interesting. The dexterity, don't let yourself be pushed out from the dexterity. The dexterity is very minimal and quite enjoyable. I'm not a very big dexterity player. I don't particularly enjoy dexterity, but this one is just enough to give me that oomph to the game, the unpredictability, and mimic the Mario Kart feeling. So thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click the button below, subscribe, click the notification bell, share with your friends. You know the drill. This is not your first YouTube video, am I right? Thank you very much and see you next time. Ciao!